we in Canada took our stand with the United Nations against this communist aggression. 3 Canadian destroyers were at once dispatched to far eastern waters and placed under the United Nations command.
The United Nations object is to prevent war spreading beyond the Cyprus shores. The Canadian aircraft carrier Bonaventure and her destroyer escort lay at Famagusta, disembarking some of the Dominion's contribution. General Guiani's strength won't be in numbers, but in the presence of the United Nations. For these peacekeeping operations, the UN sends a multi-nation force to take up the burden formerly borne by the British. If anything can now ease the animosity between Greek and Turkish Cypriots, it will be the presence of the United Nations.
Canada is sending warships to the Persian Gulf. They'll be joining the military force being put together in the region by the Americans to stop Iraq's Saddam Hussein. The decision to sail was made in Ottawa after a meeting of NATO allies in Brussels.
Official word of Canada's military involvement in the Gulf came from the Prime Minister this afternoon.
We are a member of military alliances. We stand for some fundamental values and principles. And one of them is resistance to aggression on innocent states, members of the United Nations, and friends and allies of Canada.
Within the week, the destroyers Athabaskan and Terra Nova and the supply ship Protector, along with 800 personnel, will leave Halifax and be on their way to the Gulf.
They will be modified and adapted and added to. I am satisfied that they will be able to do the range of jobs they're liable to be asked to do.
The Prime Minister says Parliament will get a chance to deal with this, but only after the ships and their crews are already on active service in the Gulf.
Vice Admiral Ron Buck, the head of the Canadian Navy, issues orders immediately to assemble a naval task group.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I'm happy to be with you.
Prime Minister Jean Chrétien meets with President George W. Bush in Washington on Thanksgiving weekend. Only then are the Canadian forces committed to the fight.
This problem of terrorism is a problem that concerns all the nations of the world, and we're working together to build a coalition that will defeat that.
J'ai autorisé l'opération Apollo, le plus vaste déploiement de militaires canadiens depuis la guerre de Corée, et plus de 2000 hommes et femmes vont y prendre part. Des tâches vitales ont été assignées à nos navires.
Compared to a single ship, a task group can accomplish much more because of the combined complementary capabilities of the ships that comprise it. Only a few navies can put a credible task group to sea, maybe only half a dozen in the world. That's why the Navy gets the first call to deploy in times of crisis. Our task groups are known commodities among Allied and coalition forces, and we are trusted to get the job done.
The Prime Minister of Canada is arriving!
We as a country are very grateful to each and every one of you on board the Athabaskan and on board the other 3 vessels for what you're about to take on.
ships of the Atlantic Fleet were immediately ordered to Haiti from Halifax, loaded with relief supplies. By the time the mission peaked, in addition to the Dart and Her Majesty's Canadian ships Athabaskan and Halifax, over 2,000 Canadian soldiers, sailors, and air personnel were in theatre bringing real assistance